I think we really need to sort out the defence and just the style of play in time for going to Pittodrie on Sunday, because that will be a really, really tough game. I did expect them to get something at the weekend against Livingston, something more than what they got.
Sure. So did they.
But they will be a tough ask.
Well, let me throw that first of all to former defender before we go to John. Craig, what did you think of the goals that Celtic conceded?
Well, as John said, obviously the header, the looping header from White that goes to the back stick. Can you defend that first phase better? I'm sure Celtic will feel that they can. The second goal, when the game's kind of the game's gone, isn't it? It's a kind of shot on goal deflection. Not a great deal that can be done. I mean, Celtic will want to make sure that they start better than what they managed to do against Ross County. Because Ross County, to be fair, had a fantastic start to the match. Did they have an opportunity with a penalty claim? Referee waved it away, but they actually popped it about, Paul. They work Celtic early doors, and then they get the penalty at home. Good support, and they go from strength to strength. But I think against Aberdeen, you know exactly what you're coming up against. They played against Livingston. They did not have a shot on target or even in the match, which again, as an away team, you'd be slightly disappointed with. So therefore, defensively, they're sound. But I think Celtic will find opportunities.
Did you watch the lowlights? I mean, the highlights of that. Did you have that 10 seconds? John, so you're going to Pittodrie. Are you worried about the defence?
No, not so ever worried at all. I think they got a bit of rust out of them at the weekend. I just feel it was Ralston, Taylor, Nawrowski and Cameron Carter-Vickers.
He's back, isn't he?
Yeah, the goals, Kyogo was on the back stick when the ball came back across. Ross County's first goal. Celtic went 3-0 up at half time. It could have been 5, 6, 7. I think Turnbull did really well. He justified Brendan putting him in his side instead of Hitachi. Hitachi came on. But
Were you surprised about that, John? Sorry, that he started with David Turnbull. Although there's been so much talk about David Turnbull, he's had a great pre-season.
Yeah, on the evidence of pre-season, Paul, not overly surprised because he's done very well, Turnbull. And Brendan's obviously is his prerogative. He's the manager. He picks the team. He takes the flak if they win, lose or draw. But it worked. It was a really good decision to start with Turnbull. He came back with 2 goals. Could have scored a hat-trick. Me and Barry said here last week he's a brilliant goal-scoring midfielder. And as I said, the defence, they looked okay. They conceded from a corner. And then in the second goal, where the lad cut inside and he hits it, it's going straight to Joe Hart and it takes a wicked deflection. And by the way, Ross County and Malky Mackay, they are allowed to have a couple of spells on the ball.
Is that in the rules?
And create 1 or 2 chances. They are a Scottish Premiership side. Sure. It's like you are actually allowed to keep the ball for a couple of minutes and, force a few corners. That is allowed in the game. You don't expect Celtic every single week to get 90%, 82% possession and score 8 or 9 goals. Sometimes, games can just go... I thought the passing, Brendan said the passing could have been a little bit crisp once or twice, give the ball away in the middle of the park. But hey, I don't see Celtic will go to Aberdeen. They'll have momentum. They'll have had a game under their belt. They're scoring goals. Yes, Aberdeen is always a really difficult place to go. Away from home at Pittodrie, the crowd are on top of you.
You loved playing there, didn't you?
You loved playing there, but so you should. As a professional, you should take these challenges on. So yes, it goes down as one of Celtic's toughest away fixtures, alongside when they go to Ibrox as well. But why wouldn't Celtic be confident going into the game? They're actually, I wouldn't say they played well, but they weren't brilliant, but they did enough. And
Game 1.
I think they'll be fine at Aberdeen.
The only thing that I'll say, and I know he's a fantastic goalkeeper with huge experience and was enormous for Celtic last season. He does have a clanger in his locker, the big man. He does make a poor judgment in the early game moments against Ross County that he gets away with. If I'm Aberdeen, I want to make sure that I'm testing the goalkeeper early doors.
Press him.
I just tested him, running things down, getting balls into the box, making sure that you work Joe Hart, because there is a mistake there.
John, is it getting to him a little bit?
Well, you have to realise that Joe Hart, right, is not brilliant with his feet. Okay, you got goalkeepers like Edison You've got other goalkeepers that are really, really comfortable with the ball at their feet. Joe is okay, right? When the two fullbacks go really, really wide and the centre backs sort of break for him and make it easier to give him the ball. I think Joe last season sometimes he took a few risks in tight scenarios. But Brendan Rodgers, I remember watching Swansea City play once, and Ashley Williams tried to play it across his back line, right? And when they played Man United, it was Rooney, Giggs, Van Persie, and Ashley Williams gave the ball away, right, at the Liberty Stadium. Swansea lost the game 1-0. Brendan Rodgers went into the press conference after the game and says, I'm taking full responsibility for that loss. I tell my players to pass it out from the back. Okay, Ashley got it wrong today, but next week we'll do it and it'll look great and we'll go on from there. Joe's not brilliant with his feet. Everybody knows that. Last season he got away with one or two incidents where Celtic eventually cleared their lines in the end. But if you're asking a goalkeeper to play out, and that's not really what he's completely comfortable with, Joe's brilliant. He's a brilliant shot stopper.
Yeah.
He sees the danger. On Saturday there, we are digging him out for a couple of little mistakes that he makes. But on Saturday, the ball was played over the top several times. He was on his toes. His reactions were brilliant. He was straight out to clear the ball.
Yep.
So, listen, we all know where his frailties are, and that's with his feet. So some